This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Jing Jamlang. On the Scorecard tonight, Venus Williams roared back with first singles win since 2023. Chezka Centeno storms to victory, rules M Arena Ladies 10-ball Open 2025. In Tour de France, Stage 16 ignites French pride, while Stage 17 promises sprinters showdown in Valence. In Major League Baseball, DeGrom deals 9 Ks, Rangers power past Athletics 6-2. In the WNBA, Jonquil Jones ignites Liberty comeback, top fever 98-84 without Caitlin Clark. While in the NBA, Valanciunas commits to Nuggets, eyes title run in 14th NBA season. And joining us live tonight are members of the Philippine Rugby team, fresh from winning the 2025 Unions Cup, Dylan Davis, Ken Malorian, and Jonathan Greenwood. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 23rd of July. Now, here's our roundup. It must be a year of comebacks. First, it was Manny Pacquiao. Now, Venus Williams, at 45 years old, just proved why she's still a force in tennis, delivering a thrilling straight sets victory over Peyton Stearns in a night that felt like vintage Venus. Williams made a winning return to singles action at the 2025 Mumbai City DC Open, taking down fellow American Peyton Stearns in straight sets, electrifying a stadium court crowd that witnessed history in the making. The 45-year-old legend sealed the deal in a heart-pounding final game, clinching her first singles victory since August 14, 2023, where she last defeated Veronika Kudermetova in Cincinnati. After the match, Venus addressed the crowd, thanking the fans for their unwavering energy and sharing her battle back to the tour.
We were literally living and dying together. It is not easy to come off after all that time and play the perfect match.
Williams, who has been plagued by injuries in recent years, confessed that the drive to return was partly practical.
I had to come back for the insurance because they informed me earlier this year I'm on Cobra. So I was like, I got to get my benefits on. Started training.
She's actually not lying about that, because we talked about that about 6 years ago. So you're actually telling the truth. You know, insurance is hard.
Insurance, you guys know what it's like. And let me tell you, I'm always at the doctor. So I need this insurance.
She also credited her fiancé, Andrea Preti, for pushing her to compete again, revealing that Monday's doubles win with Haley Baptiste helped shake off the rust. The great ones make it look effortless, and Chezka Centeno was in the zone, seeing the table like Neo sees the Matrix as she conquered Jakarta's M Arena Ladies 10-ball Open 2025. Centeno claimed the crown with a 10-6 win over Denise Santos in a thrilling all-Filipino final, sealing her status as the queen of the table. Santos fought back from a 0-4 deficit to trail just 4-5, including a spectacular one-rail kick that thinly sliced the 5 into the corner, but Centeno was a highlight reel of her own. With the score at 8-6, she buried a laser-thin cut on the 3 to reach the hill, then closed out the match with clutch shot-making. Young guns Carmel Buhat and Rocky Constantino also left their mark, showing that the next wave of Filipino talent is ready to roll as the Asian pool scene continues to heat up. Stage 16 of the Tour de France delivered sky-high drama on Mont Ventoux. Valentin Paré-Ponce stood tall with a breathtaking 2-up sprint win over Ben Healy, claiming his first ever Tour victory and scoring Soudal Quickstep's 4th stage triumph this year, a moment of pure ecstasy for the home fans. The battle for the yellow jersey raged on as Tadej Pogačar withstood multiple attacks from Jonas Valanciunas, maintaining his lead and even extending it slightly at the summit, while Valanciunas suffered a frustrating crash with a photographer after the finish. Now the spotlight shifts to stage 17, a 160.4-kilometer charge from Bolen to Valence with 2 Category 4 climbs, Col du Partuis and Col du Tartagii, before a flat 40-kilometer run-in. That sets the scene for one last mass sprint opportunity before the Alps hit hard. Sprinters' teams will need perfect control, and all eyes are on Tim Merlier and Jonathan Milan. Merlier has already seized 2 flat stage wins, while Milan is hungry to reclaim his green jersey lead. With Jasper Philipsen out of action, this is their last real shot before the mountains and the final Champs-Élysées laps. Expect full-throttle lead-out trains, a relentless chase, and a heart-stopping final sprint where every millisecond counts. Moving on to Major League Baseball, Jacob DeGrom was locked in on the mound, striking out 9 as the Texas Rangers blasted 3 homers to defeat the Oakland Athletics 6-2. DeGrom fired 6 strong innings, allowing just 3 hits and a lead-off homer, while fanning 9 in his first start since July 12. DeGrom, now 10-2, settled in after Lawrence Butler's 14th homer of the season, retiring 10 straight batters and throwing 86 pitches, 60 for strikes. Adolis Garcia's 4th inning blast tied the game. Marcus Semien put Texas ahead for good in the 6th with a 364-foot shot. And Corey Seager's 3-run homer highlighted a 4-run 7th. Seager has now reached base in 23 straight games. Sean Newcomb took the loss for Oakland, which dropped its 3rd straight. Starter JT Ginn allowed 1 run in 5 innings for the A's. With DeGrom back in form and the offense firing on all cylinders, the Rangers gain momentum heading into the next series. In the WNBA, Jonko Jones came back with a bang, carrying the Liberty to a 98-84 victory over an Indiana Fever team still missing Caitlin Clark. Jones made her presence felt, dropping 18 points and pulling down 9 boards after sitting out 9 games with a sprained ankle. Jones overcame early rust and fueled a 13-0 run that turned the tide. Indiana, without Caitlin Clark, built a 67-60 lead late in the 3rd, but New York locked in defensively, holding the Fever scoreless for the final 2:24 of the quarter and opening the 4th with back-to-back threes. Kelsey Mitchell fought hard with 29 points, yet the Liberty's depth took over down the stretch. With Jones back in action and Emma Meeson set to miss Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart, New York tightens its grip on the Eastern Conference and looks poised for another title run. Meanwhile, Jonas Valanciunas clears the air, making it official that he's all in with the Denver Nuggets for his 14th NBA season. After weeks of speculation, Valanciunas announced he will suit up for the Denver Nuggets this season, putting to rest rumors of a move to European powerhouse Panathinaikos. Denver acquired the 33-year-old center from the Sacramento Kings earlier this month and plans to use him as a veteran backup behind 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic. Entering the 2nd year of his 3-year, $30.3 million deal, Valanciunas comes off a season split between Washington and Sacramento, where he averaged 10.4 points and 7.7 rebounds. Despite a new role, the 6'11" veteran remains a highly efficient inside presence, boasting a 56% career field goal mark over 937 games. With Denver looking to ease Jokic's minutes after his heavy 36.7-minute load last season, Valanciunas' experience and size could prove crucial in the Nuggets' title defense. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What's a flying change in equestrian? A flying change is when a horse switches its leading leg mid-air during a canter without breaking stride. For example, if the horse is cantering with the right leg leading, it can switch to the left leg leading in one smooth, airborne moment. This advanced maneuver shows perfect balance, precise timing, and seamless teamwork between rider and horse, commonly seen in dressage, show jumping, and eventing. The next time you watch an equestrian event, spot the flying change and catch the magic in motion. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Formula One isn't just pushing the limits on the track, it's redefining what it means to win, slashing its carbon footprint by a jaw-dropping 26% in 2024, all while the engines roar louder and the crowds get bigger. Back in 2019, F1 promised to go net zero by 2030, a bold mission to cut emissions by half, and they're already past the halfway mark, dropping from 228,793 tons of carbon dioxide emitted of TCO2e in 2018 to just 168,720 TCO2e. That's more than 60,000 tons of carbon emissions wiped out, even as the calendar expanded to 24 races and attendance soared to a record 6.5 million fans. How did they pull this off, you ask? Well, factories and team bases are now powered by renewable energy, slashing 34,000 TCO2e. Travel emissions have been pared down by 20,000 TCO2e. With remote broadcasting and sustainable aviation fuel, greener logistics mean biofuel-powered trucks and more efficient freight. And event operations are leaner and cleaner than ever, using solar battery systems and HVO biofuels. Formula One is showing the world that it's possible to go flat out without leaving the planet behind. The chase is on, and with the 2030 net zero finish line in sight, F1 is proving that the future of racing belongs to those who dare to drive change. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 23rd of July. Up next, joining us live tonight are members of the Philippine Rugby team. Fresh from winning the 2025 Union Cup, Dylan Davis, Ken Milloren, and Jonathan Greenwood. So better keep it here on the Scorecard. Welcome back to the Scorecard. The Philippine Volcanoes just showed that they are not just out to play rugby, they are in it for the win. Fresh from their explosive victory at the 2025 Unions Cup in Taiwan, please welcome to the studio Dylan Davis, Ken Milloren, and Jonathan Greenwood. Gentlemen, welcome to the Scorecard. So glad you could join us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, congratulations. Incredible. After 6 years away from the 15s game, you guys have come back triumphant in this victory in Taiwan. First of all, how does it feel to be back in this level of competition? And tell us about the feeling of getting gold in this competition.
Yeah, well, I think really happy with the result, and we put a lot of effort in, and I think the victory is a lot sweeter. I think one thing Coach Josh said was to control the controllables, and there were a lot of things that didn't really go our way in Kaohsiung, but we controlled what we could control, like when we could train and what we ate, how we bonded as a team, and that really helped us, and I think it really did help us secure the win.
As I mentioned, it's been a long time since you guys have been competing in the 15s. Sevens has been a little bit more active for you gentlemen, but you guys have gone and won against Thailand in the final. But en route, you guys beat the defending champions in Singapore. What was the secret, boys, in this victory that you think took you guys over the line in Taiwan?
No, I think the biggest secret is how we bonded together as a team, because we only had a few days where we will compete on the first test match, and as you may know, there was a typhoon in Taiwan. So our 2 days of training got cut off, and what Jonathan said, or our coach said, is that control the controllables. And typhoon is something that we can't control, and what we did is we basically have to push through with that challenge or adversity that we've been faced to. Like, we even trained in a basement car park and even in a random field in Kaohsiung in Taiwan, just for us to get the preparation that we needed on our first game in Singapore. And that itself really bonded us together as a team, where we went in together to face that challenge as a team and as a unit, and the brotherhood that comes with it.
I love it. Dylan, what does this victory mean for Philippine Rugby?
Oh, I mean, aside from the feeling of getting the gold, it's kind of stamping our reintroduction back into the 15s rugby, the test rugby. So I think the only way is up from here. So and I'm sure a lot of guys in the team feel the same way. it's just a really, really big honor to go on and represent the Philippines in such a way.
I'm sure, winning it all was probably the highlight of it all, but if you could choose something else, aside from just winning, the result itself, what was special about the campaign in Taiwan?
I think just going out there and representing not only your family, but representing a very, very proud nation is probably one of the highlights for me. I think it's just truly an honor to, just share the field alongside my kapatids and just be out there with them and representing the Philippines.
Now, of course, we're looking ahead now that you guys have bagged this victory. You guys are trying to build a bit of momentum. What's up next for the Volcanoes, and what can our Filipinos look forward to seeing you guys in action next?
I think I'll take this one. Mosh.
Yeah, I think you know this.
So I think coming up, we've got the Sevens, the Asian Sevens series, which we recently got promoted to back in last year. That's going to be 2 legs, and then we've got the upcoming SEA Games, which is going to be an incredible feat because we should be the reigning champions. We got gold in the Philippines when the SEA Games was here, and we got a couple of exhibition games for 15s coming up at the end of the year as well.
Perfect. So a lot to look forward to this year in 2025. Now, rugby culture, you guys are a big part in making it a bigger thing in the Philippines, and a lot of people are looking towards you guys in order to get familiar with the sport. And for those who are, haven't yet experienced rugby, haven't seen it, haven't played it, what is it about the sport that makes it so compelling? And what do you think is the reason why people should get involved in the sport?
Yeah, I think we're kind of speaking before. It's, as you can kind of see, it's a game for all sizes, right? You don't. I think there's this conception that you need to be big, strong, and aggressive. But yes, of course, that's needed in the sport. But it really is open, and it caters for a lot of shapes and sizes and people.
That was something that I brought in as a bit of a misconception, I suppose, that somebody of my stature would not be able to play rugby. But that's good to know. That is very, very good to know. But yeah, so that is definitely something that people could look forward to. And where do they? If I was somebody who wanted to try, where do I go in the Philippines to get a taste of rugby? Maybe try my first time or watch the sport.
I think Philippine Rugby Union been doing a lot of programs at the moment within Metro Manila, different provinces, so Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao.
Nice.
And you can just basically go to our Facebook page or Instagram to get to like the clinics that we're putting out there. And also we have local clubs as well in the Philippines that develops rugby, because the whole goal of introducing rugby again or focusing on the grassroots program is to uplift the local players to play on the highest level, which is the Volcanoes, and that's something that we want to, or our goal for the rugby here in the Philippines. So
you 3 gentlemen here represent all parts of the Philippines. We've got Leyte, Bicol, Ilocos here as well. You live in Cebu at the moment. But you guys grew up also in different parts of the world, is my understanding. Well, how does it feel to be able to, represent the Philippine flag and to represent a part of your heritage on an international stage?
I think for me, it's just, I've always proud being Filipino, even if it was half Filipino. I always considered myself as being a Filipino individual. And I think for me, just to go back and represent not only my mum's homeland, but what I consider my homeland, is truly a massive honor. And I just hope and pray that we can continue to instill pride into the flag and into the jersey as well. And I think I can say that for my teammates as well, is that they're just incredibly proud to play for the Philippines.
Gentlemen, finding success for the Philippines on the rugby stage. For you guys, what is the most special thing about being able to take on the flag and bring it into these places like Taiwan and be able to compete against the best in our region?
Yeah, I think being able to represent the country and kind of at the highest level for rugby is really, really great honor and great privilege. And it's amazing to show that the Philippines can compete at this level within Asia and possibly the rest of the world. And yeah, very, very proud moment.
What's it like in terms of the hierarchy of competition in the Philippines? Where are we at the moment? Like when you look at Southeast Asia, are we the top of the pile as of the moment? If you could give me a bit of an idea.
I think we're getting there. I think we're incredibly competitive as a nation, as a rugby nation as well, especially within Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You know, we really go toe-to-toe with the rest of the sea countries like Malaysia and all that stuff. And I think, I mean, we've always been very, very proud as being one of those countries that can not only be the underdog, but can always come out on top.
And then what are we pushing for? What is the goal for the Philippines in terms of what's the next stage for us?
I think for us is to really put Philippines on the map as a rugby nation and to encourage more local Filipinos to get into the sport. And I think it really coincides with us as a nation, as a culture. We're very competitive. We love playing physically as well. I mean, you can see it with the boxing, you can see it with the martial arts that we have here at home. And I think what a better sport to play and, you know, just get yourself out there and play more physically as well.
There's something that is so fascinating to me when I watch rugby is that it is an incredibly physical sport and things get very heated on the field. But then I see all of this like incredible respect amongst the gentlemen on the pitch. And you know, it doesn't very often boil over into something more, you know, or they make amends very quickly. Like, can you explain to me the rugby culture? Because they say it's like, what's the saying? It's like a sport of warriors, but it's played by gentlemen.
Oh yes, it's a hooligan sport played by gentlemen. Yes, I mean, one of the core values of rugby is respect. And I mean, you can see it all the time on the field as well, where we have so much respect for the ref. Whatever he says goes. Yeah. And I think it's one of the things that you can also translate into life as well. I mean, you should always go out there with respect.
All right, gentlemen. It's amazing to have you guys here on the Scorecard. It's a privilege to have you on and to visit us here. And we look forward to seeing the next exploits you guys are up to. And we're going to be keeping a close eye on the Volcanoes. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, up next, another chance to make noise. Brock Burke gets the ball for Los Angeles, while Sean Manea looks to lock it down for the Mets. The stakes are rising and the margin for error is thinner than ever. Who blinks first? We're about to find out so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. You want late season urgency? We've got it. The New York Mets are rolling into tomorrow's matinee with straight comeback wins over the Los Angeles Angels. The Vibing Queens, pretty electric. Juan Soto is doing Juan Soto things, and Francisco Alvarez comes up from the minors and immediately delivers a bomb. And Ryan Stanek just locked it down against Mike Trout. That's your closing scene, but don't get it twisted. This series is way more than just a footnote. It's a litmus test for both squads. Let's talk about the Mets. Back-to-back comeback wins. That's grit. Sean Manea gets the start today, still chasing that first W, but quietly putting together a rock-solid season with 2.45 earned run average, and with Frankie Montas handling business last night. He stranded Mike Trout and the entire Angels offense in the fifth inning. It's clear that this rotation is settling in at the right time. The question today, can Manea keep the hot bats of Nolan Schanuel and Taylor Hardward quiet? If he does, then the Mets could very well make it 3 straight. Give credit where it's due. Nolan Schanuel cooked last night, 4 hits, a statement game, and he wasn't just padding the box score. He nearly put the game out of reach in the 5th inning. Now the Angels turn to Brock Burke, who's been surprisingly steady in the back half of this rotation. He's got 3.38 earned run average, and he's going to need every ounce of that poise to keep this Mets lineup from heating up early. And Trout still stuck at 998 runs batted in. You know that milestone is looming. Now, for the Mets, the swing factor might just be Juan Soto. That throw to the plate, an absolute game changer. And even with Lindor in a brutal 0-for-30 slump, this team's getting enough offense elsewhere to keep winning games. For the Angels, they need Trout or Ward to deliver in the clutch. They had their shots last time, bases loaded in the 5th, and they came up empty. That simply cannot happen again tomorrow. Stay ahead of the count as the heat builds in the dog days of summer. Bases are loaded, rivalries are tight, and every inning counts. Here's your matchup breakdown for tomorrow. And that's the final out on our preview. The bats are hot, the arms are locked in, and there's no room for error. One game could swing momentum, one pitch could change it all. So tune in, lock in, and keep your eyes on the prize. Now before we go, think on this. From one of golf's most dominant and consistent players of the modern era, a two-time Masters champion, Scottie Scheffler once said, "Success is meaningful only when balanced with what matters most in life." Beautiful. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport. On the Bilyonaryo News Channel, this is Jing Jamlang. Have a blessed evening. Good night.